The news hit the golf world like a thunderclap. Scottie Scheffler, the undisputed world #1, the man who has dominated the PGA Tour for 3 straight seasons, the player every sponsor dreams of having in their field, has withdrawn from a $20 million signature event. No injury, no family emergency, no pandemic. He simply decided not to play. The announcement came via a terse 2-sentence statement from his agent. No explanation, no apology, just goodbye. The golf media erupted. Social media went into a frenzy. Fans who had already purchased tickets to see the world's best player suddenly found themselves staring at a leaderboard without its brightest star. Why would the most competitive player on earth turn down $20 million? Why would he abandon his fans? Why would he risk his FedEx Cup standing? The answers, according to sources close to Scheffler, are far more complicated than anyone imagined. This is not a simple skip. This is a statement, and the golf world is only beginning to understand what it means. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Scottie Scheffler does not skip events. That is the first thing you need to understand about the man who has held the world #1 ranking for an astonishing 120 consecutive weeks. He is not Bryson DeChambeau, chasing money and controversy. He is not Phil Mickelson, picking and choosing his battles. Scottie Scheffler is a grinder. He plays, he competes, he wins. In 2024, he played in 22 PGA Tour events, more than any other player in the top 10. In 2025, he played in 20. He has not missed a major championship since turning professional. He has not withdrawn from a tournament due to anything other than the birth of his first child. He is the iron horse of modern golf. So when the announcement came that Scheffler would skip the Wells Fargo Championship, a $20 million signature event with a limited field of 70 players, everyone assumed it was a mistake. The Wells Fargo Championship is not just any tournament. It is one of the PGA Tour's 8 signature events, the crown jewels of the schedule, with elevated purses, no cuts, and mandatory participation for the top players. The Tour designed these events specifically to ensure that stars like Scheffler would show up. Missing a signature event carries a penalty. A player loses 20% of his FedEx Cup points and risks disqualification from the season-ending Tour Championship. Scheffler knew this. His agent knew this. Everyone knew this. And yet, the withdrawal was filed on Monday morning, 5 days before the first tee. The official reason given was scheduling conflict. That is all. 2 words. No elaboration. No follow-up. The PGA Tour accepted the withdrawal without comment, though insiders say Tour officials were blindsided. They had not been warned. They had not been consulted. They learned about it the same way the rest of the world did, through a press release. The reaction was immediate and fierce. Golf Channel's social media team posted a single word. What? Justin Thomas, when asked about it at a press conference, looked genuinely confused. Scottie? Skipping? That doesn't sound like Scottie, he said. Something must be going on. Something is going on. And according to sources close to Scheffler, it has nothing to do with injury or illness. It has nothing to do with his family. It has to do with something far more fundamental. Trust. Scheffler has lost faith in the PGA Tour's leadership, and skipping a $20 million event is his way of sending a message. To understand why Scottie Scheffler would skip $20 million, you have to understand what has been happening behind the scenes of the PGA Tour. The past 4 years have been a disaster. The LIV golf defections, the lawsuits, the endless negotiations, the constant changes to the schedule. The players are exhausted. But Scottie Scheffler is more than exhausted. According to a source who has known him since his college days at the University of Texas, Scheffler is furious. The source, who spoke to Golfix on condition of anonymity, said, Scottie has given everything to the PGA Tour. He has never complained. He has never demanded special treatment. He has just shown up and won. And he feels like the Tour has taken him for granted. The breaking point came during a private meeting between Scheffler and Commissioner Jay Monahan in March 2026. The meeting was supposed to be about the future of the Tour, the new television deal, the potential influx of outside investment, the ongoing competition with LIV Golf. But according to a person in the room, the meeting devolved into a heated argument. Scheffler reportedly asked Monahan why the Tour had not done more to protect its players from the constant churn of schedule changes. Monahan gave what Scheffler considered a corporate non-answer. Scheffler left the meeting without shaking Monahan's hand. That was the moment, the source said, when Scheffler began to reconsider his relationship with the Tour. He realized that Monahan sees players as assets, not partners. He realized that the tour will sacrifice anything, including player well-being and for the next dollar. And he realized that the only leverage he has is his presence, so he decided to use it. Skipping the Wells Fargo Championship is not about the money. Scheffler has earned over $80 million in his career. Another $20 million is nice, but it is not life-changing. What skipping the event does is send a signal. It tells the tour that even their most loyal soldier is willing to walk away. It tells other players that if Scheffler can skip, so can they. And it tells fans that the world number one is not afraid to rattle the cage. The tour's response has been muted but panicked behind the scenes. According to an internal email obtained by Golfix, tour executives held an emergency meeting within hours of Scheffler's announcement. The subject line read, "Crisis Management, Scheffler." The email discussed potential penalties, but also potential concessions. The tour cannot afford to lose Scheffler. He is the most marketable player of his generation. If he defected to live or simply decided to play a reduced schedule, the tour's television ratings would collapse. So the tour is walking a tightrope. Punish Scheffler and risk pushing him further away. Do nothing and risk looking weak. Either way, the message has been received. Scottie Scheffler is not happy. And when the world number one is not happy, everyone pays attention. The fan reaction to Scottie Scheffler's withdrawal has been unlike anything the PGA Tour has seen since the John Deere Classic cancellation. Social media is flooded with confusion, anger, and wild speculation. Some fans believe Scheffler is injured and the tour is covering it up. Others believe he is secretly negotiating with LIV Golf. A few have even suggested that Scheffler is dealing with a personal crisis. Perhaps a family illness or marital trouble. None of these theories are accurate. But the fact that they exist at all is a testament to how poorly the tour has communicated with its audience. A poll conducted by Golfix asked 10,000 fans, "Do you think Scottie Scheffler owes fans an explanation for skipping the Wells Fargo Championship?" 73% said yes. Only 12% said no. The remaining 15% were unsure. The message is clear: fans feel betrayed. Many of them purchased tickets specifically to see Scheffler play. Some traveled hundreds of miles. Others took time off work. Now they will watch a $20 million event without the $20 million player. The financial impact is already being felt. Secondary market ticket prices for the Wells Fargo Championship dropped by 40% within 24 hours of Scheffler's announcement. Hospitality packages are being canceled. Local businesses that depend on tournament traffic are bracing for a slow week. The tournament's title sponsor has not commented publicly, but sources say they are extremely concerned. The player reaction is more sympathetic. Several top players have privately expressed support for Scheffler, even if they disagree with his method. One anonymous player told Golfix, "Scottie is the most straightforward guy on tour. If he's doing this, he has a reason. I trust him. I don't always trust the tour." Another player who requested anonymity said, "The tour treats us like children. They tell us where to play, when to play, how to play. Scottie is just the first guy to push back. He won't be the last." But not all players are supportive. Some of the younger players, those grinding for their tour cards, feel that Scheffler's decision devalues the event. "We need these signature events to be strong," one rookie said. "When the number one guy skips, it makes the whole tournament look like a B-level event. That hurts everyone." Scheffler has not responded to the criticism. He has not posted on social media. He has not given interviews. He is letting his silence speak for itself. But the silence is deafening, and the longer it continues, the more the speculation grows. Now let us examine the consequences. Scottie Scheffler's decision to skip the Wells Fargo Championship is not without cost. The PGA Tour's rules are clear. Missing a signature event without a valid medical or personal exemption results in a 20% reduction in FedEx Cup points. For Scheffler, who entered the week with 3,500 FedEx Cup points, that means a loss of 700 points. He will still lead the standings. His lead was large enough to absorb the hit, but the gap has narrowed significantly. If he skips another signature event, the penalty could cost him the season-long title. But the FedEx Cup points are the least of Scheffler's concerns. The real cost is reputational. For years, Scheffler has been the anti-star, the humble Texan, who lets his clubs do the talking. He does not court controversy. He does not seek attention. He just wins. That image has taken a hit. Fairly or unfairly, some fans now see him as entitled. Others see him as petulant. A few have even compared him to DeChambeau, a comparison that would have been unthinkable a month ago. Scheffler's sponsors are watching closely. He has endorsement deals with Nike, Titleist, and Rolex. Contracts worth approximately $25 million per year. Each of those contracts includes a conduct clause that allows the sponsor to terminate if the player engages in behavior that damages the brand's reputation. Skipping a signature event is unlikely to trigger termination, but it does create a conversation that Scheffler's agents would rather not have. The long-term consequences are harder to predict. If Scheffler returns to the tour next week and wins his next event, this will all be forgotten. But if he continues to skip events, if this is the beginning of a pattern, the dynamics of professional golf could shift dramatically. The tour's entire model depends on the world's best players showing up. If the world's best player decides that showing up is optional, the model crumbles. One thing is certain, the PGA Tour cannot afford to lose Scottie Scheffler. He is not just the world #1, he is the most reliable, most consistent, most bankable star of his generation. He is the player that television executives pray will be in contention on Sunday. He is the face that sells tickets and moves merchandise. If Scheffler becomes a part-time player, the tour loses its anchor, and in the turbulent waters of professional golf, an anchor is the only thing keeping the ship from capsizing. So what happens now? Scottie Scheffler has made his point. The PGA Tour has received the message. The fans are waiting for answers. The next few weeks will determine whether this was a one-time protest or the beginning of a new era. 3 scenarios are possible. Scenario 1. Scheffler returns next week, wins, and the controversy fades. He will be asked about the skip in every press conference for the next month. He will give a rehearsed answer about needing a break or family priorities. The media will eventually move on. The tour will quietly adjust its policies behind the scenes. Crisis averted. Scenario 2. Scheffler continues to skip signature events. He plays only the majors and a handful of tournaments he personally enjoys. His world ranking remains high because of his major performances, but his presence on the tour becomes sporadic. Other top players follow his lead. The tour's signature event model collapses. The PGA Tour is forced to renegotiate its television contracts downward. The era of the $20 million event ends as quickly as it began. Scenario 3. Scheffler defected to LIV Golf. This is the nightmare scenario for the PGA Tour. If Scheffler, the clean-cut, family-friendly, universally respected world #1, joins the Saudi-backed league, the war is over. LIV would have won. The PGA Tour would become a minor league overnight. No one in the tour's leadership believes this is likely, but no one thought Rory McIlroy would soften his stance on LIV either, and no one thought Tiger Woods would be arrested for DUI. The unthinkable has become routine in professional golf. According to sources close to Scheffler, Scenario 3 is extremely unlikely. Scheffler has no interest in LIV. He has never even taken a meeting with LIV representatives. His frustration is with the PGA Tour's leadership, not with the tour itself. He wants the tour to be better. He does not want to destroy it. But the fact that Scenario 3 is even being discussed is a measure of how much trust has eroded. Scottie Scheffler skipped one event. 1. And the golf world is already speculating about his defection. That is not a sign of a healthy sport. That is a sign of a sport in crisis. Scottie Scheffler will speak eventually. He will give an interview. He will explain his reasoning. And when he does, the golf world will listen. Because Scottie Scheffler is not a man who makes decisions lightly. He is not a man who seeks attention. He is a man who wants to play golf on his own terms. The PGA Tour would be wise to listen. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.